I never thought I would do something in safety. That's not the career I chose, that's not the education I got. I grew up in a small industrial town. And one thing I remember is in this town, there was a monster. What do I mean by that? There was a guy living in the city that looks like a monster. And of course, you know how kids are. We were pointing at him in the street and we were not very nice or being frightened. And I think for the poor guy, it was probably terrible. And when I was like 11 years old, one thing we had to do with school is we had to spend one day in a company. And then as we were visiting, I found the monster. The monster was working there. I stepped back when I saw him, and then I asked the guy who was making me, hey, what is this guy? And then he told me, oh, you know this guy, what happened, he had an accident when working. There was a fire, and he was deeply burned, and that's why he has this face. I think that changed because the monster then became a victim to me. It was not just a monster, it was a person who had suffered from a terrible accident. And from this terrible accident at work, he would suffer from it all his life. And I think I never looked at it in the same way after that day, because the monster had become a human being. When you think of the AlleTrust program, the thing that was really from the beginning was to include the emotional dimension in it. And then along the years, what happened is we've learned every year new things about how our brain works, how we can influence our decision, what we can do with our emotion, and we had to integrate it. So the program has changed continuously since the beginning. And of course, from an organization perspective, do we see an improvement in performance? Do we have less accident? Do we have less turnover? Any organization is just a set of individual people. And the only way we're going to have an impact is by touching each of these people and making them change. And by doing that, the whole organization will move. And of course, we try to plant some seeds in the brain of each of them that are common seeds and that will make them move in the right direction. When I facilitate one of our sessions, you never know exactly what's going to happen by nature of what we do. But at the end, always, you see people that, come and they have changed. And it's small things, but decisions they're making different to take better care of themselves, their team, their families. And that's really the most rewarding part.